Ce club-là, tu sens l'histoire, tout ce qui s'est passé.
I will just start straight with questions. Please, time for translation also, as ever. Thank you. Kennedy, on you go.
Ange, I wonder how you're feeling and reflecting on your Champions League debut. How would you assess the match and the performance?
Oh yeah, obviously disappointed with the outcome. I thought the first goal in the game is always going to be important, and up until that point I thought we were well in the game. If anything, we had the better chances, and we need to capitalise on them, and we didn't. Once the goal went in, then they got the quality to take control of the game. We tried to press on, and again, they were able to then exploit the spaces we left. So, as I said, I think up until sort of the 60-minute mark when they scored, I thought we were well in the game. But you learn at this level that you'll get punished if you don't take your chances.
¿Necesitáis traducción o no? Before they didn't require it.
Okay.
We're okay to keep going. I think the fans afterwards gave you quite a reception despite the defeat. I can see and sense the disappointment in your voice, but is there a sense of pride as well in terms of the way your team played, certainly for at least the first hour?
No, I just feel the responsibility of bringing this football club to this level, and that's what these fans deserve. I mean, there's no starker reminder of that than the reception they gave us after the game. That they deserve to see their football club competing against the likes of Real Madrid on a regular basis and really competing. So I feel that responsibility, and I want to sort of get us up to this level so that this club and these fans get what they deserve.
You like to test yourself against the best, and you were talking about learning. What's the biggest takeaway for you from this evening?
There's no takeaways for me, but I think for us as a team, you know that you don't need a reminder that it's fine margins when you're playing against the best, and when you have opportunities, you need to take them. And again, that was evident today. If we score the first goal, put some pressure on them, they need to open up. We can take control of the game, and we had the chances. I mean, it's different if you don't have the chances, and if you don't create anything, or the opposition have got your pin back, then there's stuff you can learn. But I think what we learned today, we already knew that we've got to be just really clinical in both boxes.
And did you see enough from your team to suggest that you can do well in the group in the games to come?
Look, every game's going to be hard. It's Champions League, and I don't think the next game is going to be any different. There's going to be fine margins. We've just got to make sure we end up on the positive side of the ledger.
Ange, obviously you're disappointed. Ange, obviously you're disappointed with the result in the end. How are the players in the dressing room? Do they share your disappointment, obviously getting beaten, or are they taking the positives that they were, level with Real Madrid in the first half, perhaps even better than them in the first 45 minutes?
No, they're disappointed because, as I said, we understand the responsibility we have when you represent this football club, and all of us want to compete at the highest level, and when you're not successful, there's no other way to feel but disappointed. And it doesn't mean it wasn't through a lack of effort or lack of commitment or belief. I think again the boys gave everything they could, but if you want to bridge that gap, you've got to be disappointed with a night like tonight and make sure that you come back stronger next time.
What does that say about the progress your team's made then, Ange, given you're playing the European champions and you're disappointed?
Oh, look, I don't think it's a measure of progress. I think it's just a measure of, what our ambitions are. And, like I said, I've made no secret of the fact that, I want us to be a Champions League football club, and that means competing at this level on a regular basis and competing against the best. So, just because it's sort of our first foray into it for a few years, and want us to make up that ground as quickly as possible.
Guys.
First goal took the stuffing out of them as well.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was because I mean we were still pressing and that. I think it was a physical thing. I think it's just like I said, at this level it's fine margins and it's a mental thing, where the game's really tight and arm wrestle. We've got sort of some good chances, as I said, and then they score and then they can relax a little bit, get comfortable, and we need to chase the game. And when you're chasing the game against a good quality team, they have the ability with the footballers they have to then control the tempo, and you're kind of chasing it a little bit. So I don't think it was a physical thing. Like I said, I just think in this game, I think if we had scored first, it would have put some real pressure on them and really asked them some questions, and we didn't do that.
And on the evidence of what your team produced first hour and over the piece of the learning curve, do you feel optimistic that you'll be able to hold your own in this group and maybe get to that level really quickly in match day 2, 3 and 4 and 5?
I feel determined, not optimistic. Like I said, that's my. I feel that responsibility. I want us to be a Champions League football club, and for that to happen, we've got to come out next week. And again, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be fine margins, but we've got to learn from that and try and be more clinical in those kind of areas. So, it's not about being optimistic or pessimistic about it. It's about being determined to bridge that gap.
Any more questions? No, all good.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Cheers.